First of all, I would like to thank Wind Europe for inviting me to speak today. And secondly, I would like to thank Mrs. Markram and Mr. Barger for their inspirational speeches. There's no doubt that wind power has become a crucial part of the energy system, and not only in Europe, but globally. In 1991, the first offshore wind farm in the world was established in Denmark. Vindeby Wind Farm consisted of 11 wind turbines of a combined capacity of 5 megawatt. I think it's fair to say that offshore wind has come a long way since. The wind farm was decommissioned in March this year after more than 25 years of delivering electricity to the grid. The Vindeby story tells us that wind power has a long history of delivering electricity into the national grid. In 2015, more than 40% of the Danish electricity consumption was covered by wind power. I think that is a world record. And we intend to keep going. Our long-term goal was to make Denmark the first country in the world that can deploy new offshore wind capacity on market terms alone without any subsidies. I think we have to admit that Germany probably beats us in their last tender, although it is a consolation that one of the winning bids was made by a Danish company. However, the next step must be to ensure that all offshore wind farms will be built without any need for subsidies or market premiums. I strongly believe that one of the best ways of lowering prices and reaching the goal of delivering wind farms without subsidies is to increase the cooperation across countries. The energy cooperation between the North Sea countries is highly prioritized in Denmark and by the Danish government. We see an enormously potential to the North Seas. Actually, we like to compare the North Seas to the Silicon Valley when it comes to offshore wind power. Our vision is that the North Sea should become the place for testing and using the newest technologies on offshore wind energy in the world. The political declaration of energy cooperation that was signed a year ago is an important step towards making this vision come true. To maximize the potential, we need a more optimized, coordinated, cooperative, and harmonized approach to the deployment of offshore renewables and interconnections in the North Sea region. Denmark takes over the presidency from next summer. We are already starting to plan our visions to the presidency and the North Sea Energy Cooperation. I promise we will do our best to make the cooperation as big a success in real life as it is on paper. There's no doubt in my mind that the long-term success and durability of our common project will ultimately depend on our ability to deliver tangible results that are of real and high relevance to both governments and our stakeholders. This cannot be done by the presidency alone. On the contrary, we can only be successful if all member states and all stakeholders contribute to the best of their abilities. Therefore, I will use this opportunity to stress the importance of prioritizing the work of all levels of our cooperation, including that of the support groups without which we cannot succeed. And I'm looking very much forward to talk to you today about the prospect and future of the energy cooperation. There's no question that offshore wind will be a very important part of our future. I think that if everyone was in doubt, they must have been convinced by the EnBW and Dong Energy's serious subsidy bid in the latest German tender. There are many dimensions to these bits, but one thing is for sure. Right now, we are seeing a fast and significant technological development that is driving down costs faster than anyone could have imagined. There are many drivers for this. One example is the availability of test sites for new and very large wind turbines. That is why the Danish government has recently entered into the agreement to expand the current national test centers for wind turbines. A part of the agreement was to increase the maximum height of the prototype turbines to 330 meters. That's even taller than the Eiffel Tower. This comes at a time where developers expect to deploy turbines with a capacity of 13 to 15 megawatts in 2024. That is a significant increase. This is indeed an amazing journey that deserves all the credit it can get. However, the flip side of the coin is that such large machines are regular power plants on the ocean. They need space. It is no secret that's a rather outspoken not in my backyard effect in Denmark and elsewhere against both onshore wind power and offshore turbines close to the shore. I think that offshore wind is the future green power plants, but they need to be placed far from the coast to gain the support of the general public. This underlines the need for continuous reduction of costs. And this leads to my last point. Costs are obviously on decrease when it comes to subsidies and faster than expected. But the costs for grid connection is still a rather substantial shadow cost or an indirect subsidy of the offshore wind. Before we can talk about real subsidy-free offshore wind farms, we will have to lower the cost for grid connection. The question is, how do we do that? Would including the grid connection in the tenders increase the market premium, but decrease the overall costs? Are interconnectors where offshore wind farms can be connected the solution? Or is TenneT and Energinet DK on the right track with the North Sea Wind Power Hub? I'm very interested in hearing your input on grid connection today. I believe that this will be the next big question that we need to answer when we're talking about the potential of offshore wind. I think that we need to approach this subject with an open mind and a strong will to be creative in our solutions. In short, we need to address this challenge in the same way that the wind power industry has approached reduction in cost of building offshore wind farms, with creativity, ambition, and determination. If we do this, I'm fully convinced it will be a success, and we cannot afford not to deliver on this. Thank you for letting me speak today. I wish you all a fruitful conference. Thank you.